Okay, this testimony is how God or Christ gave me dominion to command water out of my basement. When it would rain heavily, my basement would always back up and sewer water would be in my basement. And so I went downstairs after the rain one particular evening, and the rain was ankle level. And I went down there and I was like getting this thought. This is an area that God gives you dominion. And so he says you need to command what you want to happen to that water. And so I did. And so went down there and I said, in the name of Jesus, water, you have no right to be in this basement. You leave this basement now. And so I went upstairs and I stayed up there for about an hour. And after that, I went back downstairs to check on the water. And the water hadn't decreased, it increased. It had gotten about almost to my knee level. And so now it's like, I'm like, on the inside, I'm kind of like a little bit like, okay, concerned. And as I was going up the stairs, and I wasn't really feeling confident about things, as I was going up the stairs, the Christ came to me and said, don't look at the water. Look at what you said to the water. And the light came on, and as I went upstairs, I was like, oh, okay, I got you, I got you. See, I had already commanded that water what to do, to get out of my basement. And so he just showed me how to affirm that and how to keep that going. And I went upstairs, and you know what? I didn't worry about it. I didn't think about it. I just waited till the next day. And when I went down early in the morning, guess what? All the water had drained out. Now, the thing is that I could not afford a plumber, because the plumber that came out another time that the basement had flooded had given my diagnosis as I needed them to pull up stuff and to put new piping in somewhere. Well, I didn't have that money. I didn't have new piping money. And so this is what God told me to do to get out of that trouble. And I did it, and I got out of that trouble. So anyway, another incident is when I love cats. And I had this Siamese cat, and that cat died. And I didn't want to get another cat, but mice had started coming back in my house. And so because I didn't want a cat, I was hesitating, or I was waiting a little while. And the Spirit came to me and said, why do you have to get a cat? He said, command those mice out of your house. And I was like, okay, in the name of Jesus, little mice that God has made, you're lovely creatures, but you are not supposed to be in my house. You cannot stay here. So wherever you're supposed to be, I command you in the name of Jesus to go there. But you got to get out of here, and don't go in nobody else's house. And I'm telling you, after I spoke that, it's like the next day and the next day and the next day. I hadn't seen mice for like years after that. Now, it did happen that I had my brother and my older sister come and live with me. And after they came, the mice came back. And so I realized that my prayers had to be different. I had to include them in my prayers. Just saying that we only have one mind, there's one thought about everything, and we're all in sync. And so that started working. And now, well, right now, currently, I got stuck with a cat. Let me tell you how that story went. My son came home from college, and he brought a cat with him. And so he was keeping the cat at his father's house, because his father doesn't like pets. And so he was keeping the cat there until until he moved into his place. And so his cat was staying here for, I don't know, that cat was here for about 7 or 8 months. Come on now, 7 or 8 months, and it was a kitten when it got here. So he tried to pick the cat up to take him back to his place, and that cat was hissing. That cat was growling. That cat would not let him put him in a cage. He wasn't having it. So he determined or decided that that was my cat because the cat fell in love with me, and actually I fell in love with the cat. So it's a wonderful, beautiful thing. He's a beautiful cat. I don't know if he's in here now. He might not be in here now, but anyway, that's a wonderful testimony also. Thank you.